When you are a child, your parents or your guardians are responsible for you. But once you become an adult, you are 100% responsible for the rest of your own life. And the acceptance of being responsible for your own life is an indication of a strong-minded, fully mature human being. That large gap, between an immature person and a mature person is the acceptance of total responsibility. Total. From there on, and for the rest of your own life, there are no excuses. No excuses. Once you accept total responsibility, there becomes no more excuses. You see, making excuses for your failures or mistakes in life is one of the main reasons why adults fail in life. The more you make excuses and try to explain your faults and problems, instead of accepting full responsibility of your life and making the necessary changes, is what holds people back from ever reaching, their highest potential. It is what keeps them down from getting to the next level. And we have talked about this. There's a famous saying, the more you fail, the closer you are to success. So failing is not necessarily a negative thing, but it can only work. It can only work if you understand responsibility. Hello? Responsibility. It is very critical to be fully responsible and not partially responsible for your life. You must live and breathe fully, being responsible. You cannot one day be responsible for something and then the next you are not. It is a practice, it is a promise. This mindset will help you get to the next level of achieving and being the best person, the absolutely best person that you can be. And the attitude of irresponsibility, it generates a lack of control. A lack of control, where you don't have freedom of your own life. This generates negative emotions. It generates negative emotions. Here is the thing. It is possible, absolutely possible, to eliminate negative emotions. It is said that all negative emotions is unnatural to human beings. All the negative emotions, it's an unnatural thing for human beings. And every negative emotion that a person has, a person had to learn at one point of their life or many points in their life. You are not born with these negative emotions. You are born curious, positive, wanting love, wanting feeling of love. Those negative emotions are generated from what you have learned. Hello. It is possible to live without negative emotions. I'm getting to some sort of point. If you have the negative emotions, don't worry. That's why you're listening to Guide Guru today. It is possible to live without negative emotions. This we already talked about. We're practicing like positive thinking. When you practice this positive thinking, bringing in the positive, releasing the negative, this is like a weapon to counterattack negative thinking and emotions. And negative emotions, what are they? They are things like fear, like resentment, guilt, jealousy, envy, doubt, and so on. There are many negative emotions. But all of those negative emotions, eventually, they end up as anger. Let me repeat. All those negative emotions, they end up as anger. This is how anger is produced. Either anger towards yourself, within, inwards, or anger outwards, towards everything outside. Society, anger towards things, anger towards people. And the anger, it's not okay to express to people. It is not well received. It is not good to live with anger, to show your anger. I want everybody to think about this. How do you feel when you are angry? Think about it. You watching on our YouTube, watching at home, watching right now with me, listening. How do you feel when you are angry? Do you feel good when you are angry? Do you feel that this is a natural and like normal, happy, healthy, positive emotion? That it is okay to have anger, to express anger? No, it is not. You see, when you are angry, your whole system functions poorly. The ability to think clearly vanishes. It is like a black cloud hovering over your brain, preventing you to think rationally, preventing you to think positively, preventing you to think loving thoughts. To think clearly, it vanishes. Your brain is covered with a black cloud. When you're angry, you do not get along with other people. And you react aggressively. When you're angry, you don't sleep properly. You are uncomfortable. You toss, you turn. When you are angry for long periods, you feel physical ailments like stomach problems, like stress. When you're angry, it causes high blood pressure, which can lead to heart issues, problems. When you are angry, you are an inefficient worker and are unproductive. And so on and so on. I can go on. But really, there really isn't any good feature to anger. Hello, listen. Here is the importance and what to understand of what we are talking about. Negative emotions are not caused from the outside. That all our negative emotions are within us. That every single negative emotion that we experienced is our reaction to situations. It is not contained in the situation or circumstance themselves. Remember, we discussed this before. We're knowing this, that in other segments we discussed that you can't change the circumstance or the situation, but you can change how you react to it. Okay? And it is important to understand that all negative emotions are a sign of insincerity and weakness of character. And it is critical to remember, very important, that it is possible by understanding where negative emotions come from. That you are able to remove them, to delete them, and to eliminate them from your life. This is a practice. By reading and watching and listening and learning to these words. This is a formula to defeat the negative emotions. We all live in society. There's so many things around us. It is there. We know negative emotions. It turns to anger. So people who have anger management problems, they seek help and they talk about this from the first step. It's not a very easy thing. So you start off with changing those negative emotions, the root, before it becomes anger. And if you take responsibility for yourself and your actions and your life, you will soon not have those negative emotions. You will soon not have that anger. And you live much more happy life, impactful life for others. This was a very important segment. We talk about many things like laughing and other things, but today it was very serious. And we will continue. There's many things to talk about on this subject. But first, we must understand the responsibility. And I hope you leave your comments below, people watching. Subscribe, like. We want to know how you feel about this topic. It has been an absolute pleasure of mine, Guide Guru, to be here today to talk about responsibility, negative emotions, anger. And I hope to see you soon again. Have a good day.